Bienvenidos. Soy la Bruja Espinada and I'm here with your message of the week. So let's get started. When asked what is needed for this week, and what came out was the 10 of elixirs. I've explained this before. The 10 of elixirs is a very good card. It symbolizes comfort, harmony, accomplishment. So what's needed is giving in to the comfort and the harmony. Usually when it feels like things are too good to be true, people tend to stay on edge because they're waiting for the next shoe to drop. They're waiting for something bad to happen. And sometimes it's kind of, if your life is like a hurricane, consider this the eye of the hurricane. There's a moment of peace. Whether or not you have dealt with a life of nothing but shitstorms, usually there's a moment of peace, and you're usually on edge waiting for that, what you would consider the inevitable to start happening again. Well, right now is a moment of peace, and that's what this is telling you, that what's needed is for you to enjoy that moment of harmony, enjoy that comfort of how far you've come and for everything that you've been dealing with. Now, when asked how to get into this stage, what came out were two more positive cards, which is the Four of Rods and the Ace of Elixirs. The Four of Rods has a lot to do with celebration. It's usually like it's associated with like unions, marriage, great connections. All in all, though, it's celebration. It's celebration and happiness. And of course, if what's needed is to be in comfort and in harmony, it's telling you celebrate all that you've accomplished so far, all that you've survived so far. Right now is the time to relish in that. And that's not to say just party it up nonstop. No, it's, celebration, moderation, basically. Because eventually, as we know, the eye of a hurricane only lasts so long before we got to get back into the motion of doing things. And that's what this is telling you. With the Ace of Elixirs, it's a beginning. So things are coming, that's celebrating in that small amount of time frame before things start to pick up again. New things are coming to you. That has to do a lot with emotion, and it's letting you know in advance. What's coming up has a lot to do with emotion, has a lot to do with emotional fulfillment. It's telling you that what's going to be very essential is following your heart and to stay patient. It's very, very difficult to be patient, especially when you're constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. And right now it's just, relish in the moment, but of course, stay aware that you have to be patient for when things start to pick up and start flowing in motion again. What needs to be given? What came out was the Tower and Temperance. The Tower is sudden change. Usually it's associated with a lot of sadness and despair, a lot of, because it's, as you can see, it doesn't look exactly like the prettiest things, lots of skulls and stuff. And it's falling apart. So what's coming undone right now is something that needs to be changed. And you can see this because the Temperance came out with it. Now, focusing on the fact that you may not want this type of change that's upcoming, or you're not ready for it, but the Temperance card has a lot to do with, it's stating that right now, this is what's necessary. So when the change starts to occur, starts to go into motion, you have to be patient, which is highlighted here. Patience. Not only that, though, but this is a divine blessing. All this change that's going to occur is divine blessing. So far, this is what's telling you. Everything that's led you to this point where you can start to feel some sort of harmony and comfort, to celebrate everything that you've survived, that you've been through, that you've accomplished, has been divinely guided. It shows exactly what this card, divine guidance, spiritual guides, anything, your higher power, whoever it is that you pray to or you seek guidance from, you're blessed because it's showing you that everything has been for you and for your better self, for everything that you've been praying for, that you've been trying to manifest. It's there. And all this is asking you is to seek some sort of balance. And the balance doesn't necessarily have to mean that, you're trying to, like last week, we had the Wheel of Fortune that was trying to balance every single quadrant of, emotion, passion, work, things like family life. It's not so much that, although that has to be worked on, but it's also a sense of healing where you have to be able to remove the negativity that no longer serves you, because that does not allow you to maintain a healing balance within your life. And that's a huge key, is that yes, there will be negativity in your life, but if the negativity is outweighing all the good and positives, then it's out of balance and you need to work on balancing that out. It's also saying that you need to be completely honest with yourself. That's another thing that has to do with that negativity that you have to remove. It's also stating that what needs to be given is taking off the mask, being real with yourself on the things that you know that you need to let go of, the things that you are falling behind on. Just be honest. But of course, you have to be patient. Both these cards signify patience to the fullest extent. When asked from Oracle what the lesson is, what came out was Magnificence. Now, it's amazing this card came out because what it's telling you is that this card is a challenging card. So it's challenging you. It says, this card challenges you to determine what it means to live a majestic life and to actively go out and live it. Do small and large things that will bring you magnificence without any care for what others think. Don't let anyone pressure you. Don't let anyone take from you and break you down. You know your life. Every choice you make is yours. And no choice you make is wrong. Every choice that you make is right. It may not be the best choice or the wisest choice, but regardless of the matter, it will take you to where you need to go. Just one road is harder than the other, but it's ultimately your choice. And that's what this is telling you. Whether it's something small or something big, you need to start living for yourself, because your life is magnificent and that's what you're striving for. You're manifesting a magnificent life. So go out and get that magnificence. Do the shit. When asked of the Divine Feminine what the message was for the week, what came out was Mirabai and Shekina. Mirabai is the saint of true freedom. Her message is, love is what sets me free. I am married to my own soul. Now, she is she was a princess from India who was forced into a marriage, and she was very religious and believed herself to be the true bride of Krishna. And of course, she went against, and she was married off, so she went against everything that her, the societal rules were for her. And she went against all of that because she believed that she followed her soul and who she believed who she truly loved and who she belonged to, and so she followed her own soul. Her message is, Mirabai is about doing what's right for you and no one else. The fear of being persecuted can convince us not to be true to who we really are. So she encourages you to find that love that is in your soul, the love of yourself and what you truly believe. That's not saying that you should stay in something that's toxic, which is why this is here and telling you you have to understand what is good for you, what is for your best interest. And yes, despite the fact that you are making these choices on whether or not you're going to live your best life, you do have to have that understanding here, that is for your best good. So with Shekinah, she is the presence of the divine feminine, and her message is, at the center of everything, there is light. I am that light. Her message, and it ties in very much with the message and the lesson and the reading. Shekinah is the reminder that we are not just this body or this pain we might be going through or this confusing moment. We can experience the light that we truly are. So with Shekinah, it's saying that not everything that we experience in life is positive, which is the tarot card. The things that happen aren't always positive. Change is always happening, and the change isn't always the greatest. But with Shekinah, you are a light, is what Shekinah is saying. And you might walk, think about it as a maze. And through every maze, there's a dark corner. And those dark corners aren't exactly the best experiences, as you well know. But as you travel through these dark corners and treacherous roads that are dark, that are gloomy, that seem to be filled with absolute pain, you're bringing this light, and that light is your life. You're bringing light into these situations. Now, it says that there is goodness. That's what the light is saying. There is goodness. This highlights the good and the bad. That there is light everywhere within us, and there's light that we wind up bringing to these dark experiences. And it's whether we touch someone else's life or many different people, or even it may not be immediate, along down the road, that light is there. And that's because it was lit by your flame, the flame that's inside of you. And it's sad to say that, yes, sometimes we're not a permanent present within a situation we prefer to be in or with people that we prefer to be with. But we are a light, and that's a wick that we lit along the path. So, as a reminder, be true to yourself. Remember that no matter what happens, you are a divine present light. Do what's going to make you truly happy. That's going to make you live the most magnificent life that you can live. Relish the moment. Celebrate how far you've come and what you have and what you've accomplished. Because new things are coming. And even though it doesn't seem all that great, it's divine guidance for absolute happiness, harmony, and comfort. I hope that message helped you, and I will see you guys next week.